It's 7 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. A lot of paperwork in front of everybody. Let's start with the minutes. Everybody had a chance to read them? Speak. Yes, no?
Yes.
Thank you. Any changes or edits? If not, can I have a motion to accept the minutes? Ron or Sharon?
I'll make a motion. Second it.
Okay, so moved. Correspondence. So a couple of things here I'd like us to pay some good attention to. One was I had asked everybody to take a look at the fee schedule. And I was very surprised that I got almost no feedback from anybody. The only one was from Carol. As it turns out, that fee schedule was discussed at the board meeting on Thursday, but the town board has decided that in the future, and I don't know how regular this will be, that they are going to hold workshops to review things like that. So I'm going to ask again, everybody take a look at that fee schedule and go through it and make sure that you think it's fair and reasonable for people to pay $150, $300, $500, whatever it is for a permit on any of those items. By the way, I'm not suggesting that it's not.
I thought your points were very good, the points that you made at the meeting.
Well, I do think it's important that the town board give us some direction about whether or not the fees are designed to cover costs or to earn money, because it's a different philosophical approach to, I might look at some of those fees. If the approach is to just cover costs, I would look at some of those fees and say, they're fairly material. And if it's to make money or somewhere in between, then I certainly would have less of a concern. But I am asking everybody to please make sure that you do review those. And here's what I'm going to ask. Send me a note if you agree with everything on it, so I know. Okay. Thank you.
I was late because I was trying to get that to print and it wouldn't print for some reason.
Fee schedule?
It would not sync and I couldn't get it to print and I'm trying.
Well, you're here. Thank you.
Okay, sorry
No.
about that. I
If
did
you
send
grab
a text at the last minute.
If you grab the paperwork for the town board meeting, I think they're hooked in there.
Okay,
They should be in your packet. Second item, several meetings ago, I had asked everyone to go on to the town website, to go to the ZBA section and to download and look through the application form and kind of test and validate whether you thought everything on there worked and was thorough, and maybe even test trying to fill out one of those fillable PDFs. I don't know. Yeah, I thought perhaps some people might not have, so.
Can't copy stuff.
Okay, well, you can at least open it and look at it. So I would ask that everybody be diligent about doing that.
What exactly is a permit fee for the ZBA online? That's what you want us to do.
No, I'd like you to go to the application for example, for an area variance.
So I go to the ZBA
Yeah.
site on the town board.
Yeah.
And then there's forms
Yes,
for the application for variance.
yeah, and just make sure, because when we vote as to whether or not we believe an application is complete or not, it needs to have followed all of the elements that were in that, and there's a checklist that's included on the first page, I think, of the application. So I guess what I'm trying to do here is to encourage us to be a bit more diligent and thorough about growing our own knowledge around these things. So when applicants come before us, that we're as thorough and as helpful as we can be.
And we have these, all these papers that you're talking about?
Well, they're all online. No, the ones that are online, Rod, you'd have to go online,
Oh, I gotta go.
yeah,
through-
on the town website, right?
All right.
Yeah. I'm sure Monica or somebody can help you with that. Third item, I don't know if everybody had a chance to take a look at it, but Jay last month or last meeting passed out a pretty interesting memorandum from the chairman of the Columbia County Planning Board. And this is what it looked like. Everybody has got a copy in there. And what the county planning board is basically saying is that we require the municipal planning boards and zoning boards to send certain applications into us, and we think we've gone too far. Basically what they've said, and they've listed, oh, I don't know how many it is here. It's 27 separate items that they currently require a planning board or a zoning board to send to them, and that's the letters that we get, you know, from
That in our package, 27 items.
no, I brought this.
Oh.
It was handed out last week. Yeah. So, okay, this is the third piece of homework I'm asking people for. I'd like you to go through this, and if you don't have it, send me an email and I will send it to you. But I'd like you to go through all 27 items, and at the meeting next week or next month, just circle any ones that you think you look at and go, yeah, there's no reason for us to send that to the county planning board. And by doing so, and if the planning board does the same thing, we can potentially take a lot of steps out of the process. And they've even gone so far as to give us a sample resolution that the town board can vote on and then send to the county planning board. So it's an opportunity for us to simplify things by taking some steps out, which is something that I think we absolutely should take advantage of.
Did they give us some examples of what you had sent to them before that,
No, they didn't give us any examples. I think that's kind of self-explanatory, but I'll read one off to you. That's kind of a duh. So one is, in any area variance seeking relief from a front yard, side yard, or rear yard setback on an existing or prior approved parcel. So in other words, a standard area variance that we send to the planning board in the past when they haven't responded, or we have met within the 30-day period, we've approved it conditionally and then waited for the planning board to send, which seems, you know, excessive administration, something that's not really critical. A lot of paperwork. Yeah. Yeah. So that's your third piece of homework. Okay. It'll be in the notes. So it's written, or Jay's minutes. So Jay, we're going to hold people accountable next month for a lot of homework. Okay. Next piece of work is, does anybody have any reason to?
Go over two items to report.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
So you do have a response from the county regarding the 239 referral for the bulk application. And then the other thing is I had planned a training on Dropbox for this past Saturday. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, it had to be rescheduled. So I'm looking at rescheduling it for August 1st at 6 p.m. Once I get written confirmation that it's on my calendar, I'll distribute it to everyone.
6 p.m. Thank you.
Anything else, Jay? Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any reason to recuse themselves from tonight's discussion coming up?
No.
No? Okay. All right, the next order of business is the public hearing. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing, please?
Do that. May.
Sure.
I ask a question on Jay. You sent a letter to us on the 3rd. And you use we. Are you referring to you and Ed, or are you using that pronoun?
So the we, I think your letter is to the ZBA from the planning board.
No, this is from you. This is a letter from you.
The letterhead is from the planning board.
No. Oh, yes,
Okay. yes,
Sorry,
so the we
sorry.
there is
it's okay,
the planning board.
okay. Okay. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah, actually, before I open the public hearing, let me just check to make sure that everybody has seen Ed's note on the initial denial of Old Schnitzler and his change in what the variance should be. Everybody read that?
He's saying it should be an area variance for 20 yard. That what we're talking about now?
Yeah, this was the discussion we had last time about what the actual property lines were and setbacks should be. So Will and I met with Ed, Jay, I think Jay was there too, last week sometime. And although it's a little confusing in that you could look at two different places in the zoning law, of course, and have a slightly different interpretation of where the setback is being measured from. What we ultimately decided is that it's from the center of the road. And if it's a non-county or state road, the center is side to side, right in the middle. And if it's a state or county road, there's a certain specific number from the center. Like you're not just measuring it from the center of the road, but you're measuring from the center of the road plus 25 feet. And then it got pretty complex. So at some point, somebody may come to us and ask for an interpretation and make that simpler. Okay, that said, can I get a motion to open the public hearing?
Make a motion, to open a public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, so moved. Would you all like to say anything?
On the public hearing, or do you want to?
If you would like, yeah. Okay. Do we have anybody online sorry, just you? Shocking.
Yeah,
When we were here with that. If I may,
Yeah.
we were gonna find out whether the surveyor actually did take his measurements from from the center of it, and we didn't know.
Yeah. You guys use survey, right?
We did, and I see the whole porch changed compared to the first drawing. But we do have that, we do have it now, and it's updated a little bit, but we didn't know. I think the drawing that we looked at, we were just interested to figure out where he actually took the measurements.
If you want to do this during the public hearing, you want to close that, then I can.
We can do it during the public hearing. Yep, let's do it.
So the explanation is this. The survey was done for the planning board. So you caught the mistake. And I had him in the office. I said, well, what's this number? And he goes, Mitch, I didn't do that. That was there. This is what the planning board wanted. I don't know why.
Right, I can see that.
So
It's
now,
not there,
He
yeah.
did this specifically, and you can see it's dated, we just did it July 3rd. So what he took is the furthest point from the existing structure, and he measured out where the setback is, and he specifically states the setback is what the chair just discussed, 50 feet from the center line. He put in for the request, press lane going all the way down. And he shows how there's 29.5 feet of a variance that's needed Because it already exists.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, take
I
it.
have one, no, I brought my magnifying glass way, you know, my page.
So this, what he did is specifically meant for the ZBA variance and that only. He is gonna have something else that he has to do for the planning board, which I haven't been to any of those meetings and he didn't tell me what they were or anything, but that would be separate from this meeting.
We shouldn't.
So we wanted to, because, you know, obviously you had very valid points. So I think this new survey clarifies exactly what's needed. I already had the original application physically changed by my client. So the variance request is 29.5 feet now, which is what the number should be. So we can officially amend the application for a variance of 29.
So that has been done?
Yes.
Okay, so the application is complete then, Jay? Thank you.
And I will also say that the applicant provided the updated survey, which was also reviewed by Ed prior to the notification of the public hearing. So the updated distance was contained in the public notice.
Okay. Cool. Great, thank you.
So I think, if I'm correct, that clears up all the questions from the last meeting. Is that correct? Are you satisfied now?
I guess I'm reading it wrong because it says we have 29 point, we already have the 29. So,
No, what it's saying is this is a setback, here's a center line, that needs to be 50. This is the furthest point. This is where it's supposed to be. So this is 29.5 feet too close to the setback line. So that's the greatest distance. Obviously, this is less than that. This is less than that. So the maximum, so how we usually word it is up to a variance of up to 29.5 feet.
okay, I guess I'm thinking road and you're saying setback. So that's the mix up that I had.
Okay, so the setback is from the middle of the road.
Right, but you're measuring, the variance is from the setback, not from the road is what you're
That's
saying.
correct. That's correct.
Okay, that's my issue then.
Comfortable?
Yeah.
Jim, what say you? You've read a million of these in your life. Any of the other board members have any,
Well, from your center line to this front point here, this is the furthest point, correct? It's from the front of the hill. You're saying
Mhm.
this is the front, the very closest part, not counting the patio, or are we counting the patio?
That's a screened in.
Or, okay, all right, so from that patio, what did you have to the center line?
20. It's right.
No, it's 30.5 feet.
30.5.
That's why we need a variance of 29.5. I'm sorry, it would be 20.5 feet.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering why we have the 29.5 to this here.
Because that's
Well, no.
what's needed.
yeah, so those arrows are simply pointing out the closest point of the house
Here,
there.
right.
Yeah, and we need to move, the variance got to move that back 29.5 feet.
So we either move the entire house,
Sorry?
so this spot
Yes.
goes behind
Right,
this
right.
setback, or you give me the
Right.
variance.
I'm used to doing it from the front, from the road marking.
I agree.
That's how
where-
normally we always do it. So I'm sorry for the
Yeah,
confusion.
I feel same thing.
Yeah, because like if we go out to scale out and measure out,
It any way you want, that's the way your CEO wants. it.
yeah,
Okay,
That's
same
why-
thing.
Oliver, yeah.
I'm saying, we already have this from the road, so I'm back.
If we go out to lay out a building, we get a pin marking off that center of the road to where we go, where we start, our benchmark.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine the way it is. It's just
Right.
not how we're used to this. I'm used to seeing it. Let's put it that way.
This distance, this distance
Right,
is
right.
from the setback.
Right.
So this distance is 20, this point to the.
Well, he just said it was 30,
20.5 feet,
20.5 feet.
the closest spot. And the new setback requires it to be 50 feet
Mhm.
from the center line. So that's why we need a variance of 29.5 feet.
What is for dumpster, which side is there on the ground? Well, at the back.
From the closest point,
That's here.
Thanks.
from there to the center line is 20.5 feet.
Oh, okay, and so, but we're
And the setback is another 29.5 feet behind it.
behind.
That's why we need a variance
So
for that.
20, but 20 and 29 is 40, yeah, close enough.
So they go to the setback and then measure back that way.
Okay,
I used to go from the other side.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
I feel like I'm back in high school traffic laws. Okay.
Concern on the X on the ground to the bicycle can do?
It's just,
I apologize.
in case you want to join American Idol too, that's how they, you know, the X there.
I'm not used to being.
Okay, any other comments from anyone online or from the board or from the audience? Would you like to speak? Okay, can I get a motion to close the public meeting?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Yes, yes.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. Yeah, you left me a copy of the five-factor test, right?
Yeah, I didn't notice the back and maybe under the map.
You're just trouble wherever you go, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is it there?
It's here. Yes, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we will do next is go through the five-factor test and render our decision unless anyone has any objections. I'm sure you won't mind if we,
Good job. So can I just, clarify that you have received a response from the county and you also have the letter from.
confirmed. All right, let me go through these one by one. We'll consider the five factors. You'll recall, to the extent we can, if it's at all possible, to offer a reason behind our decision, yay or nay decision for each one of these factors. We can do so, but if not, let's not force it either. I don't think we're going to be getting in front of a court of law with it, so.
No opposition today. It'd be tough.
Factor one, whether an undesirable change would be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties. No. And would anybody like to offer a reason for it? Because I.
It's been there for years.
The only person that's going to be close is Mrs. Young. Is it Mrs. or Miss?
This is better.
Okay. Oh, okay,
I
sorry.
think I said that.
I didn't, I don't remember. I can't remember what my wife said this morning, so.
The second factor, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. Can't move the house.
Construction was done a long time ago.
Whether the requested variance is substantial.
Yes.
It's over 50%, or no, it's just,
Yeah.
it's over 50%, so it's kind of substantial.
See, I wouldn't look at it like that. It's existing. It was approved to be built the way it was. So how can you say it is now when it wasn't then?
It's substantial, but it doesn't really change anything. Nothing is changing.
It's not
So I
over.
agree that it is substantial, when we say it's 50% of the variance. It really hasn't changed anything. So it's substantial. You can say yes. but I don't know if that would affect our.
No, it's a balancing this test, so even if it's substantial, you weigh against the four other
That's
factors.
right,
And then you could,
that's what I'm saying, the truth is a substantial, yes. But then our decision is based on the other four.
Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? And the last factor is whether or not this alleged difficulty was self-created.
It's there, it's not self-created. No, it's not self. Looking at it.
Well, I could argue with it, Carol, because now it's because
it
of the subdivision.
pre-existed the original setback, that's why
It
it's there.
did.
But it's not self-created.
But you're dividing up the property, which brings it to,
Bring it to light, yeah.
So,
what brings it to light. So there's an argument to that.
Well, what say you?
I think it's self-created.
You think it is self-created?
What do you think?
I agree with you.
well, it's not, dividing the property
No,
does not create what is existing already. That's not created, it's there. So just because it's brought to light doesn't mean it's created.
the owner's the same. It's not like you're changing
Right.
hands, so.
I think it could go either
Although
way.
I don't vote, I stand by it's not created.
It's not, okay. Will, what say you?
I think Carol has a really good argument. Because we're only focused on this property and not what was done to create it. Really, technically, the house has been there for, I know those were additions on the house back in the 70s and 80s. So I mean, when she did the subdivision, this is all did the subdivision, she didn't create that building on the front of it, so, I mean, it's a toss up. I don't mean to be wishy-washy.
No, okay. Well, my view is that the applicant wouldn't be here looking for a variance if they hadn't decided to subdivide the property. That was their decision, and therefore they created, in my opinion, created this difficulty for themselves.
Not realizing it was going to be there.
Regardless, if they hadn't decided to subdivide the property, this situation would not have been occurred. So it sounds like three of us are kind of a yay, and okay, so I'm going to put down yes. But I'm going to note was not created for the current building X the subdivision. All right. The ZBA, after taking into consideration the above five factors, finds that the benefit to the applicant does not outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood or community, and therefore the request is denied. The benefit to the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood or community, and therefore the request is approved. Okay,
I think we make a motion to approve.
seconded.
I'll second.
Okay,
It's not going to change the
All right.
look of the community or anything of that nature.
all right, let me just write your names in here. So I'm just gonna do a roll call and just say aye or yay. Nay. Will? Ron?
Aye.
Sharon? I also vote aye. So moved. We've always asked ourselves, are there any conditions that we want to set for the approval of this variance? I don't see that there would be, but
I can think of anything.
okay.
Anything that happens, whoever town or county road does something, okay? There is a corner kind stuff there if they start manufacturing more roads.
Right. Your request is approved.
Thank you.
All right, well, I'll fill out the paperwork before I leave tonight and give it to Jay. And congratulations, you're all set. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Good night.
Adjourn.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
So moved. All right,
Second.
second.
Well,
Second was Will. Okay. All right. Thanks, folks. That was easy.